really good wins in a row, I think, and especially a time without Rowdy. What did you see out there in this building was, again, another really physical, high octane sort of game?
I saw a lot of heart. I saw us overcome a lot of obstacles. Obviously losing Rowdy in the last game, we need guys to step in and cover for him. Unfortunately, Junior had to go to the bench early. He's one of the guys to step in. Trey Cal was in foul trouble as well. Was another guy, but I thought Trey was huge. And it was really important for him to hunt his offense a little bit more. And that's the one thing Rowdy's been doing wonderfully well the last, probably 5 games. I think since he returned, coming back from against Cairns. He's found ways to become a scorer instead of a shooter, and just hunting ways to get on the basket. And I thought, we had a chat with Trey before the game saying, look, that's what we're going to miss the most. You can cover for the defense, you can help with the boards, but we need you to be like Rowdy was and hunt the ball. And I thought he was tremendous at doing that. He made some really key shots down the stretch when we really needed him, and was involved in that 35 seconds of madness heavily as well. So he was great. It's Pride round, and we talked about the word pride and what it means, and it means a lot of different things, obviously. And tip of the hat to the NBL with the way they've conducted this so far. But I have tremendous pride in this group, in the way that they focused through a lot of. Just kept their mind on the job, and I talked to them before the game about my pride with them for the way they've handled themselves, the last few weeks, and I thought they were unbelievable tonight. The way they just stayed for the next play, they didn't get caught up in some of the shenanigans going on out there. They played through it, so that was really good.
I think Cairns is widely regarded as a team that embellish. They play physically and they embellish. You've spoken a bit about how your team sort of got through that adversity, but in an arena like this as well, are you particularly proud of how they were able to overlook that sort of stuff?
Who overlooked it?
Perhaps your players.
My players, okay, yeah. I just wanted to confirm that we were on the same page there. We've got to ask the question what we want this game to look like. Firstly, great job from Cairns. They were tremendous tonight, and there was never, outside of that 35 seconds of madness, it was like this all night. That's where we got our break, and that was the result in the game, really. But we've got to ask ourselves what we want the game to look like. Do we want guys laying around on the floor, or do we want them on their feet being athletes? And we've got to start calling things out. We get one flop warning called, but then it's reversed and called an offensive foul against Creaky. He's one of the top 3 players in the league this year. I don't know, man.
You speak about players stepping in on behalf in Rowdy's absence. Ruben Tarangi is someone who came
wonderful,
in.
Yeah.
Really good on both ends, and I think probably won you guys the game with that little stretch at the end of the game.
Yeah, he was great. He's been really, really strong for us the last during this little winning streak. I thought he was wonderful in Tassie. Even if his minutes have been limited, I think it's since the Cairns game, even when it's been limited minutes, I think he's been really highly productive and filled numerous roles for us in the last game as well. We had him at the 5 spot at times as well. And, he's shooting the ball with confidence. He's getting offensive boards, getting us extra shots, making good decisions, and playing. He can defend anybody on the floor when he's really locked in, and he was really good tonight.
We spoke about Trey, and after the last game, it seemed like he was a bit down. But this game, he came out, I think, pretty assertive, and I think he looked on the front foot with his shot and things like that. What did you see out of him tonight that impressed you?
I think it's just resiliency. It's what this team embodies, and he's a big part of what we want to do and then grow into. And him just stepping up and playing the way that he did today, after the couple of fouls in the first half, there was probably a little bit of frustration going on with him, but he showed why he's a pro, and he just went out there in the second half and really controlled the game for us, especially on our run, made the right reads. He was hunting his shot, but it never felt forced. he was always one to communicate and talk and try to look for other guys. And so big props to Trey Kell for really just hanging in there. And then he's a dog on defense. I know everybody here sees it, but he's one of the best defenders, I believe, in the NBL. He's going to continue to show that, and looking forward to him having another big one here coming up.
You like to talk to the crowd. Does this building feel a little bit more exciting for you because the crowd is so close and on top of you?
Yeah, no, it's amazing. The energy is there. You know, it's reciprocated. I give it, and they give it, and it's just this perfect kind of tandem chemistry thing between the players and the crowd, and it's just it gets you up. And especially with the magnitude of these games here down our final stretch, to have the support from this area, which we serve because they serve us. You know, we're out in the community doing community events, talking to kids and doing things to show that we care about them. They show up every time and show us how much they love us and care about us. And so, like I said, a really good chemistry, partnership, whatever word you want to use. But those Southeast Melbourne Phoenix fans, man, are just incredible.
Simon, on Pride Round, the contrast was pretty stark. They didn't wear their Pride jerseys, and you have Mitch Creek, who's ambassador for Pride Round, and he's wearing his rainbow shoes and things like that, and said some really nice words after the game. You know, how did you approach this round? Obviously, trying to get your spot in the play-in, but also being aware of the important issue that everyone's trying to represent.
Look, I wasn't aware of that, and that's for them to deal with, I guess. Look, there's people with different backgrounds, different beliefs, different morals, different view on what morals are. You know, for me, this round meant a lot to Creaky, and we love him. He's our guy. We love everyone in our gym. And whether or not it meant a lot to the individual player, it means a lot to Creaky, and that means a lot for everybody then. And we want to honour Creaky with his, I guess, commitment to the round, and honour the people that he wants to honour as well. I mean, we've had this thing with Isaac this year, with him coming out and talking about the issues that he's gone through, and some of the depths of despair that he went through. And if that doesn't hurt everyone in our league to a degree, it's like, man, I want to pick a brother up. I mean, I don't have a relationship with Isaac, but I want to shake his hand. Oh, I already have. I shook his hand and said I'm proud of him when we played Melbourne, and I hate Melbourne. So, but it's but it's sort of like to know that there's people out there who are feeling that way, is that we've got to open our arms up to them and make sure that they know that we're a safe place and we're an ally and we're friends, and that it's just your sexual orientation or how you identify, it just doesn't matter to us. We matter, who you are matters to us.
On Alan, he talks about kind of like standing up for your teammate and, you know, kind of backing him. You know, how do you as a player approach that, knowing that you have someone like Creaky who feels really passionately about something, and you know Isaac and that sort of thing? How do you as a player sort of approach this sort of issue?
You support your guys, and I'm a firm believer in support. I know how much it means to everyone. I think there are stories from here until the beginning of time about people who have had issues with themselves, had issues with how the world sees them or perceives them. And I just think it's a great thing that us as Southeast Melbourne Phoenix are doing. We went all, you know what I'm saying, all out. We showed our support, and I think that the community appreciates that, and I also think it's a great initiative by the NBL in creating this bigger image of inclusion. Yeah, it's just I find it as an honor to be able to play in a league like this, with an organization like this, and in and around like this, because it's super significant to a lot of people who feel underrepresented. So.
It has been a massive week for the Phoenix with the Pride round. Were you guys aware that the Cairns players weren't wearing Pride logo on their chest when you were playing out there?
No, I couldn't see it. You know, whatever Cairns decides to do, that's on Cairns, and they have their right and responsibility to do what they want to do. Us as the Phoenix are really supportive of the Pride initiative and of inclusion for all. And I think we showed that tonight, so yeah.
Simon, I know the league made it optional for any player to wear the logo. Can you give me your thoughts on what an entire team deciding not to wear it means for the round and for the community?
Well, it's probably better asking Cairns about it, but I mean, we've got to look at it. We've got to look at it this way as well. As I said before, we've got people who have different beliefs, and because you see things differently, we don't need persecution. Now, I'm sure they've just decided there might be one, there might be two, there might be three. I don't know how many guys, for their reasons, don't feel like they can support openly the round. They've got to have their teammates back. And I'm sure the reason none of them wore is like, well, we don't want to expose anybody.
Absolutely.
And you know what?
That takes strength too, though.
Exactly. And they know they're going to be up for a little bit of finger pointing. They already have been. So pointing the finger, making examples of people doesn't help. Ostracising people doesn't help. It's about conversation and educating ourselves. Like, we had someone come in and talk to us the other week, and you know, like, there's things you learn from others. So I think what this round does, it opens dialogue, and I think we leave Cairns alone. Just let them do their thing, and hopefully over time, whoever feels like they can't celebrate this round can be educated enough to realise that, hey, we're really just holding out a hand to our brothers and sisters out there, and we're looking out for our community.
Just back on the basketball a little bit.
Please. Well, no. Maybe not. I don't know.
Did Junior get hurt? Is that why he had to come out?
No, he got in foul trouble. And then it was just about matchups. I thought Foxy was doing a real heck of a job out there. And again, you know, it was about matchups and, you know, the rotations and whatnot. You know, sometimes it's his night. Sometimes I thought Foxy was brilliant though. It was unfortunate he went out, got hurt, but he was okay. He could have come back in. But again, we had our matchups there. We had to make sure we had our ball handling as well, because we knew that they were going to come up the floor and really put heat on us. And you know, so it was important that, you know, a guy like Ruben Tarangi can really handle the ball. He's played the point guard for the New Zealand national team before. Like, he can handle that responsibility. He played his 300 or his 4,000th game, whatever he is. He's the world's oldest 28-year-old, or whatever he is, and it's just, you know, you got to have that responsibility. So that responsibility will fall on Junior in time.
You shift your attention to Sydney now, and then you've got quite a period to find out where all the chips fall, I guess, because you don't play in that last round. Can you just throw us forward to that, and then how you're feeling about that period of time, I guess? Does it help you with Rowdy getting better and stuff as well?
Maybe. I mean, that was a really... Our focus is just be on Sydney and what we can control. I mean, we can't... Whatever happens, I mean, you go back a few years, but I think it was Brisbane and New Zealand playing each other, and Brisbane needed to win by 400, and they won by 401, and Clizzo went for 50 or whatever it was. Those things can happen. But right now, we can control, you know, firstly, we've got to get our guys fit and healthy, recovered. And then we've got to go up to Sydney and whip them. That's what we've got to go do. That's our job. And that's what we control. And wherever it lays out, falls after that, I mean, we'll just do our best.
Simon, what do you take out of tonight's game in terms of Cairns likes to get up and push the ball in transition, Sydney likes to do the same? And, you know, they've lost their last two to New Zealand and Perth, so like, kind of between what you took out of tonight and how you defended or slowed down Cairns, and what's happened to Sydney last two games, like, how are you feeling about going into that?
Yeah, I think we've done a pretty good job the last 3 games of slowing teams down. I mean, Tassie are a little bit different beast, but I thought, you know, Perth got off the hook at times, but not to a degree where we didn't have it under control. I thought we were good again tonight, and even a little bit against Brisbane, a little bit. You know, I thought the late shot clock stuff damaged us there, more so than early shot clock. And yeah, they do have styles that are a little bit similar. Sydney are probably a little bit more heat on the rim, whereas Cairns like to pull the trigger from deep. But we reached our targets there from a number of standpoints. I thought our tags, jams up the floor to slow them down was really good. And we defended the three-point line pretty well tonight, which has been a little bit of an issue for us at times. We kept them below 30%. We kept them 7 and under, which was our goal for the game, and big ticks for the guys for performing that.
Saucy getting another one on Sunday.
What is that?
Getting another win on Sunday.
He wants you to do it, Joe Namath.
Yeah, right. You go into every single game that you play as a competitor looking to win the game. Obviously, we need to win the game. And so we're going to do everything in our power at this point to prepare to go out and play and win that game. And then we'll see what happens.
All good? Yeah, that sounds good.